Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're returning. Today I have an update for my Expand Those Pans project. So if you're wondering what that is or want to see the update, then please keep watching. Expand Those Pans is a project started here on YouTube by Dora of Fuchsia Soul, and of course I will link her channel. And the main idea is that you hit pan on your eyeshadows and then you might put them aside and not use them again because you're trying to hit other pans, and we don't want to forget them because we want to actually try to use them up if we can, things like that. So what I do is I pick 3 shades randomly each. It's basically every month at this point, and I use them 10 times. I have pictures before and after, and we just see how the expansion goes. And it's really kind of low key because unlike when you're trying to hit pan, you don't know how many uses it might take to hit pan. But this, it's like, no, I'm going to use it 10 times, and at the 10 times it's done regardless. So, okay. So last time I had my 3 shades rolled in. So the first one I rolled in is from my Stone Vibes palette. And I'm going to show better close-ups just because my palettes tend to be a mess because I use them and then the shadow stuff gets everywhere but it was the second shade. It's the green. So like I said, I'll have it up. And it wasn't that hard to use the 10 times. It's mostly just, I feel like the color is sort of distinctive. So when I've been using it, it's like, oh, yep, I was using that green again. Oh, yep, there's that green again. So I kind of had wished that I could use like another special shade from here just, to mix up, or a variety of them. But, it's fine. The point is to get more uses. So there you go. And next was from the Festival palette. And this one was the turquoise shade that's in here. And I was happy with this because the pan that was there was pretty small, and so I feel like I did get some good expansion. Again, I'll show you the before and after pictures. What was also fun for me with this shade is I actually was digging into other shades in this palette and not just using the one. I felt like I was getting, just more uses in general from this, because this color would look pretty with it, because it's like, what do I want to pair with the turquoise? So I was finding all sorts of ways to use it. Sometimes I was layering it with like a pink eyeshadow to get more of a purple look. Sometimes just using it as a liner. I did that, quite a few times. Just kind of playing around with it. So yeah, it was good to use. And then the final shade, unfortunately, I didn't end up using the full 10 times. And the reason is I decided that this palette is actually getting retired from my collection. And I've talked about it in at least another video, but I don't always know when certain ones go up and all that. So in case you didn't know, when I was kind of going through the quality of the eyeshadows and thinking about it, I realized that they weren't performing well anymore, and so I'd rather just devote my time to other colors, other eyeshadow palettes. I have most of these colors elsewhere, and the ones I don't weren't necessarily favorite eyeshadows in here anyway. And I mean, you can see I have lots of pans and like some big pans, so it wasn't a big loss. I did end up using the eyeshadow 3 times out of the 10 before I retired it. But yeah, so I will not be using this one on my eyes then at this point, but it's being put away. And then it was time for me to draw in new eyeshadows. When I was spinning in the different ones, I was trying to double check that the ones that I was picking were not ones I had already used in this project so far this year, just because I want to try to hit a variety of my eyeshadows. When I got the pigment, so it's right here, I'm like, oh, do I want to count that? Because you can't really see, expansion of the pan as well, but I decided that yes, I was gonna go ahead and do it. And I have a scale now so I can weigh the grams and get to the hundredths place. So I went ahead and did that. And my starting weight for this, before I've done the 10 uses, is 15 and 42 hundredths grams. So we'll see how much is left, you know, after the 10 uses. Otherwise, it's probably about a third of the way down in the container. So I mean, I could try to draw a line on the outside, but it's hard because it sticks, the pigment sticks to the side, and yeah, it's kind of hard to get a good line. So I feel like the weight is going to be better for that. And then you're gonna see I got Starburst. That was a shade I'd already had. So then I kept going. So I was, you know, getting some that I had already done before, but I had to double check for some of these because I wasn't sure. Oh, Peachy Keen is not one that I've done in this project, but I'm working on it in my Four Seasons project pan, and that, you know, that one I'm using it 11 times, so I figured there will be pan expansion. I don't need to have it also in this one and do another 10 uses. The star sign, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because I'd already used the one, but I hadn't done star sign yet, so I'm like, great, I'm gonna do that one. And then I got Stoned 8, which is Stone Vibes. So let me actually start by showing the Stone Vibes one because I have it right here. And so shade number 8, make sure I did this correctly. Yes, it is the Bloodstone shade here. So we're just kind of sticking with the green area. Again, I'm gonna have a before picture for you. This one, I'm not going to bother weighing the palette because if I use it other shades in here, then it's, you know, kind of hard to tell how much was just lost from that one shade. But, you know, we'll go off the picture for this to see the expansion. Now for star sign, yeah, I think I was thinking of the Terra Borealis shade, which is very similar to Starburst, but that one, oh, so I went and pulled that one and I'm like, oh, this one doesn't have the pan on it. And part of it was, I think, because that one was one that had fallen and I had to repress it. So I think I'd been close to a pan and then I had to repress it. I don't know. So I'm like, oh, okay. But wait, no, it's not that one. It's Star Sign. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I have a pan on that one. Okay, cool. And I wrote it down and we're all good. And then I went and pulled out Star Sign. And yeah, so this is Star Sign. And I'll have a picture and all for that for the before. And yeah, you might notice something about it. There's no pan. But I feel like I am very close. And I thought about re-rolling. And I'm like, you know what? I know it's expand those pans and there isn't a pan yet. But I think that in under the 10 uses, I could hit the pan and then also expand it. So since we're kind of near the end of the year anyway with this, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. All right, it'll get me another pan in my collection. And if for some reason I don't hit pan in the 10 uses, I'm gonna keep going until I do hit pan. So, you know, I will report back once I have expanded, you know, all of them, done them at least the 10 times. So hit pan in this one. I will weigh the crab pigment. I will show you what the Stone Vibes one looks like. And here I thought I was getting rid of this bulky palette in my makeup bag, but it's sticking around, so it's fine. But, oh, I did weigh the Star Sign shade, by the way, so it was 2 and 3/4 grams. Since it's a single, I could weigh that one, so we can see what happens in 10 uses and how much it weighs at that point. But yeah, so that is where we are at with the old shades and the new shades. So I'm excited to see what happens with them. Since, you know, we've got a pigment and a shade that doesn't have pan in my Expand Those Pans palette or project. If you want to know an update about this project or any of the other panning projects I'm doing, then maybe you'll subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I don't know if I said, my name is Alyssa, so, you know, it's nice to meet you if I haven't met you yet. And thank you so much for watching this video. Until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!